Hey fellas, how you doing out there, guys and gals? This video is just to help you out. Make sure that you don't forget how to load up a bike. We thought we'd put this together for you, put it out in the field, and make sure you guys are tight. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon.
When you pick bikes up, a lot of times it's going to be on voluntaries. All right, and that dude's going to be getting that bike back, and he's going to watch everything you do when you hook that bike up to the truck. All right, so you got to be very, very clean when you do this. This is where your professionalism has to come into play. This type of bike right here is pretty simple to put on a truck by yourself. All right, you got to know the gear ratio though first, and so I'm going to walk you through that first. So come on over here. You guys that have never ridden motorcycles, take a seat on the bike for me real quick, just like you're getting ready to ride it. Okay, this gear pops all the way down. When you go all the way down right there and it stops, you feel that click. All right, well, let me get it back up into neutral for you. All right, that's neutral, okay? Now I want you to go all the way down. Just step on it. It won't go no more, okay? That's first gear. You're not gonna move now. The bike's gonna stay stationary. It's in gear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, to get that into neutral, take your foot, put it on that peg, and just gently, it's a half click up. Right there, that's gonna be neutral right there, okay? Now, if you'll notice, you can move the bike back and forth, okay? You see that?
Yep.
All right, now the bike can move. That's where you wanna be at. You really don't wanna clutch it, because now you gotta have your hand clutching the bike, and you need that hand to maneuver the bike. So you're gonna wanna put it in neutral, all right? When you get the bike up on the lift, you're gonna throw that thing right back down into first gear, okay? Because you don't want that bike in neutral rolling back and forth on your strap process, okay? So as soon as you get it up there, you're gonna pop it right down into first gear, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so the first thing we have to do is we have to gauge the length of the bike. This bike right here is about 6 feet long. I'm 6'2". If I laid down, there'd be about an inch and a half left or so of my hat or head, whatever, okay? So we have to get our lift to the proper length as well, so that bike sits on the boom the right way, okay? So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna unfold our boom here. All right, we ain't gonna use negative tilt at all on this. This is a straight, regular toe, position toe, okay? So we're gonna secure the bike with the regular toe position. All right, the next thing we gotta do is we gotta extend it out so that we get the proper length on the bike. And I'm gonna say right about there is about a right proper length. You guys agree or disagree with that? I might need just a little bit more there, okay? But that's pretty close to where we wanna be at. The problem with this is this right here. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to secure that when we get the bike up in the air. Does that make sense? Okay, so we don't want that T-bar to turn left or right while we're maneuvering the vehicle back to the lot. Okay, so we're going to we'll watch how we secure that here in just a minute. Okay, so the next thing, a lot of trucks come with motorcycle attachments. We don't use attachments because we're going to use our L-arms for those attachments. Okay, we're going to open up our L-arms and make a V out of those L-arms. Okay, just big enough to handle that back tire on the bike. Now that's gonna be something that we adjust as the bikes get bigger or smaller, okay? So if it's a dirt bike, it'd be a lot less closure. If it's a bigger, wider tire, it's gonna be a lot further open. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're gonna open up the V, we're gonna open up our L-arm, get our V right before we put the boom down on the ground. And I'm gonna call it right there for that size tire, maybe just a little bit more. Is we want to pull that bike up to the face of the boom, right here. This is where the front tire is going to end up, all right? When we pull that tire up here, we want that tire to sit in this V right here. And our strapping process, when we pull the bike forward, okay, is going to pinch that back tire into the smallest part of this V right here and create stability. Now we can bring the boom down to the ground. We're pretty close to where we need to be at. Okay, before I roll the bike up, some of you guys may or may not have seen this before, for you guys that are here with me, all right? I'm gonna use my safety chains to help me stabilize it. And we're gonna keep them out here so I can reach over the handlebars of the bike and grab my safety chains, okay? This is gonna be a little bit too long right there. So we're gonna go right about there. All right, now, once we get our safety chains in place, I'm going to show you there's two different techniques you can use here. All right, I have this tire. This simulates a 4x4. Imagine a 4x4 cut up into about a 6-inch piece, maybe this long. Okay, 4x4. All right, I could take that 4x4 and stick it right about here with my kickstand and use my 4x4, throw my kickstand out and lean my bike over to the 4x4 here and stabilize it that way. Then I can move around the truck and get my straps and start strapping it down. The problem I have with that technique is if I'm not paying close attention and I accidentally kick that 4x4 out from that kickstand, that bike is coming down and you're going to drop it in front of somebody or on yourself, by somebody, whatever the case may be, and we're going to do damage to the bike and probably damage to yourself. Okay. All right, when we push it up here, okay, we're going to push it straight up through the V, right up to this boom right here, okay? And we're going to just keep it rolling. Once you get it rolling, keep it rolling. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Boom, right there. Now, this is where I would use my 4x4 and stick it underneath what am I thinking of? Kickstand, okay? Pop the bike in gear right now, okay? Right now, you pop that bike in gear, put it down into first so that it won't move on me. Now it's locked into place. You see that? Lean the bike over onto the 4x4 now. All right, let it go. Let it go. You good? Now the bike can stand there while you get your straps. That's the 4x4 technique, all right? Otherwise, I'm going to use, come on up here, guys. Come on up here. I want you to see this. All right, I'm going to use my pit maneuver, my pit technique. So I'm going to take the bike, I'm going to lean it to my rib cage right here. Put my arm underneath underneath the handlebar. All right, I'm going to grab this safety chain and I'm going to wrap it right around this chain. And now you guys that have experience are freaking out right about now. I know why. Just hold that comment for a second. I'm going to tighten this up as tight as I can get this. I'm gonna lean that this way, look at that. Okay, my safety chain's gonna hold it up for me. Now I'm gonna take that safety chain, go ahead and grab it. Go ahead and grab that safety chain. Wrap it around the handlebar. Tighten that up as tight as you can get it onto the truck. The problem with this technique is putting chrome on metal. That's where you guys were freaking out on me, I guarantee it. All right, if I put chrome on metal right here, it's gonna scratch the crap out of this handlebar, right? So how do we prevent that?
Rex.
Huh?
Rex.
Right, go to Home Depot when you guys get back. Put some shop towels in your truck. It costs like 10 bucks for 50 of them at Home Depot. Before I throw this chain on here, because I don't care about this bike right now, it's a training bike, that didn't bother me, okay? But if I'm out on a customer's bike, now, I'm never ever gonna do that without throwing a towel around here, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so throw your towel around the handlebar and then put your chain on it. Okay, we got it? Everybody good with that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, now I got towels around the handlebar, then I put my chains on it, and then I let that bike go and it's gonna stay steady for me. Okay, now I can move around the bike without having to worry about somebody kicking out that piece of wood there, and I'm going to grab my big tire strap. All right, when I do this, the first thing I'm going to do before I put the strap on is I'm going to put another towel over the seat. Why am I going to do that? Because I'm going over the seat with the strap. All right, and I go over the seat with the strap. I'm going to go over the seat because I don't like going through the frame because it doesn't give me enough down push on the shock system, okay? I like going from the top and then ratcheting it down so I can sit those shocks on top of each other and create more stability. Does that make sense to you? Okay? So I'm gonna take this strap now and I'm just gonna go from this eye here over the top of the seat, walk it across. All right, I'm going to take my pad strap, and my strap pad, and I'm going to put it right over the seat as well. Okay, come on over here. Larry, grab this strap right here, man. I want you guys to do this, not me, okay? All right, pull that loose, and then attach it to the other side. Just like that. The problem with what he's doing right now is as he ratchets it, it's gonna move this way. So every time you move it, you gotta adjust it and you gotta get it squared back up, okay? Then I'm gonna strap it again. And what I wanna do, hold on Larry, what I wanna do is I want this to stop moving on me. I wanna sit this top of the shock on the bottom of the shock. Now you're never gonna get that spring completely compressed, but it'll stop moving, okay? Go ahead and strap it. I can come over here and I can take my safety chains off the bike, okay? I don't need these anymore right at this second. All right, now let that safety chain drop right down to the ground because we're gonna need that later. All right, now the bike is stable, good enough to walk around, but still I can move that bike back and forth. You see that? We don't want that at all. Never want that to move back and forth like that. But at this point, this is where I'm gonna lift the bike up in the air. We're gonna do what we call a 4-point strap here. 1, 2, all right, 3, 4. Okay? And what we're going to create is we're going to create a forward movement so that this front tire mashes up against this boom right here, almost to where it's flat, okay? And we're going to pull this back tire into that small little V gap in the back of the L arms. And we're going to create a tight pinch there. I'm going to go ahead and lift my bike up in the air now and get it to proper toe height, okay? And you don't need to go crazy with this. Get it up. You want it up off the ground. You never want it to touch the ground, but get it up in the air, all right? So we're gonna get the bike up in the air. And that's about where I wanna be on this toe right here, okay? Now we're up in the air. We're stable, but we still got movement on that bike, all right? You can see that bike sliding through the strap right there, okay? We don't want that ever. Okay, now I'm gonna take my motorcycle straps. Will you grab that black one out of that box for me, Larry? Now we're gonna 4-point. I'm gonna go from this part of the handlebar when I don't have a fairing on. The next question is, well, where are you gonna go if you have a fairing on? I'm gonna wrap around this side of the fork, underneath the fairing. It's a big wind fairing. You know those wind fairings that are up on motorcycles? Plastic fairings? All right, the headlight sits kind of up in this area somewhere. You got a big ass fairing on this, all right? It's just a wind protector. That's going to cause you problems because that's going to come down to about this area right here. So you would just go from this spot, okay? But because we don't have one, I'm going on to the handlebar. But the problem again is these hooks right here, will wear out on you. Look at the top of that. See it? See the top of it? See the metal through the plastic? If I just do that right there, what's going to happen if I do that? Scratch the. To prevent that, I'm going to take the strap out of the ratchet, pull it all the way out, ratchet up on the bed. I'm going to take this in right here, and I'm going to go right through that circle that hook has at the bottom. And then I'm going to go over the handlebar just like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you'll notice though, that doesn't completely stop that from touching. Right. It's almost there, but I still have some touch right here. So I'll probably put a towel here too. Wrap a towel around this and then put your strap on it. Okay, makes sense? All right, but that's as much protection as I can give that and still have a successful strap, right? Wrap a towel around it, then put this through that hook like that, okay? Then we're gonna take our ratchet and now we're gonna put it back in, put our strap back into our ratchet. All right, now we got our strap in. For you guys that are driving Vulcans, you should have holes in the sides of your fin beds right here, your bed fins right there, okay? So we're gonna go right in there. Come on over here, you can do it for me, okay? You're gonna take the other end of that hook now, and you're gonna go right into this fin on the bed. And what we wanna do is move this bike forward now, all the way up to the front of the boom. Keep going. Okay, here you're running into a problem. See this ratchet? See how this strap is getting all caught up in here like this? Right? That's gonna mess you up every single time. Now you have to start all over again because now I'm gonna have to pop this loose. Okay? So when you're ratcheting this up, pull it, pinch these together like this. Hold these together like that, straight, up and down. Now ratchet it up, okay? Just like he's got it. Go ahead, Larry. You gotta catch back up to us. Now I'm working it forward till I get this mash right here at the front of the bike. See that tire starting to go flat on the front of that bar now, or the boom? Mm-hmm. Okay? I want this to sound like a guitar string. Listen. Okay? That's what I want that to sound like. I'm almost there. I need one more ratchet over here on this side. Boom. There we go. Okay? Give me another one here too. wrap it, tie it off, and pull it down. Go ahead, here, come on, tie it up. Just like I showed you on the dollies, bro. That's it, just like that, perfect, okay? You can see the mash on this boom, front of the boom here. See the mash? Okay, what else have we done? Look at the pinch right here in the back. See that pinch in the back tire? We've got that so far into that V that it's pinching that tire and creating stability for us now. Now I want you to grab that bike, you big boy, grab that bike and pull it and push it. That ain't going nowhere. That whole lift is together. With one exception, what's the problem? I don't want this T-bar moving, all right? The T-bar's the problem. That's an issue. So how do I secure that? How am I going to secure that? I'm going to use my safety chains. Now, a lot of guys will take their chains and they'll wrap them around the outside of the boom. The issue I have with going on this side, going on the outside of the boom here, is if your extension rod comes in and out and that starts to adjust and your chains loosen up, that's gonna fall off and now I got a problem with my T-bar if I make a turn. Make sense? So instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right through this L-arm, right down in here. Go ahead, grab that safety chain for me. Go ahead, Larry. Go right down into that L-arm, come right back up and hook it to itself. Hook it right back to itself, yep, right there. Now get as tight as you can get it back, put that chain back into your hole, your chain hole, as tight as you can get it. Okay, here's the problem right here. What's wrong with this right here, guys? Come over here and look.
What's going on?
I'm gonna jack this whole thing up when I tighten these up, okay? Because I still have to tighten up my safety chains. I want this to be under all this equipment, okay? So I'm gonna loosen this up. Okay, now get it underneath and then retighten it. Go right under that. Typically this kickstand will be up in the air. This is broken, remember that. This will be up in the air, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go underneath the kickstand. This will be up in the air like this, okay? All right, now I'm clear from all the equipment on the bike, all right? That I still am not comfortable with. That's not tight enough for me. That's as tight as I can get it with my own arms, my own strength, but that's not tight enough. I still have some turn here, all right? What can I do to change that?
Extend the boom.
Extend the boom out, okay? So we're gonna extend the boom out. Boom. All right, now we're nice and tight, okay? I want you to come over here and grab this. Tell me if you can move this. Look at that, the whole lift is moving. See that?
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere, dog. That's how simple putting a bike on a lift is right there, fellas.